Hey guys, so in this video I want to challenge the traditional way of pitching hardstyle kicks. Tell me if you notice a difference between these two versions. The first version is using a new method of pitching, and the second version is using the traditional method. There's definitely a difference between the two, and each version has its own strengths and weaknesses. So let's take a look at how we can achieve both. So let's look at the traditional method first. This method is called algorithmic pitching, and it's pretty straightforward. We start the pitching process by splitting up the punch and the tail into different layers. This way, we can now pitch the tail without touching the punch. From here, we want to select our tail and choose the pitching algorithm. This is important because the quality of the pitching entirely depends on the algorithm. Every DAW has multiple algorithms, but for pitching kicks, we always want to go with monophonic. From here, we want to duplicate the tail for the duration of the drop and do whatever edits we want. And finally, we want to pitch each individual tail sample to fit the melody or whatever section we have going on. To do this, we select the individual samples and use the transpose to pitch it up or down. That's the traditional method. When we do this, the sample length stays the same, which is obviously an advantage if we have a limited sample length to deal with. This is what you'd call algorithmic pitching because we're relying on the algorithm to do the pitching for us, while keeping the sample length the same. But here's the thing about this method. Algorithms are different. They're not the same between different DAWs and different programs. The quality definitely varies. So using this method in Logic and using this method in FL Studio will give different results based on the different algorithms they use. And this extends into the dedicated third-party plugins for pitching as well. Nimblekick is a popular plugin for pitching hardstyle kicks, but honestly, I don't know how well the algorithm handles pitching. I haven't tested it, but I doubt it's as good as the algorithm found in the major DAWs with millions of dollars invested into the development. But anyway, that's algorithmic pitching. It's the algorithm doing the pitching of the individual samples.
Real quick guys, check out my website. There's helpful free tools like this spectrum analyzer, and if you use Silent One, this preset pack is as good as it gets for hardstyle leads. Scan the code or use the link in the description.
The new method is a bit more complicated. It's called the sampler method, and it involves manually stretching samples and then do the pitching inside a sampler. The strength of this method is that it's less reliant on an algorithm, which may give the pitching a lift in quality. Here's how we do it. We start with the original tail sample. Now, because we're using a sampler to pitch the tail, we have to manually stretch the tail before we import it into the sampler. The reason is that a sampler is using time stretching to do the pitching, so at higher pitches, the sample becomes shorter. And so in order to end up with the length of the original sample, we have to compensate beforehand by stretching the tail. This also means that for different pitches, we need different degrees of stretching because higher pitches will shorten the sample more. So to start off, we basically want to stretch our tail and make a bunch of different lengths. Ideally, we end up with one length for every pitch. It's going to take some fiddling to get the length right, but once we have the correct length for every pitch, we import each tail into its own individual sampler on different channels. In this case, there's 4 different pitches for this melody, so we have 4 different samplers, each with their own length of the tail inside. Now we want to fill in the MIDI, and this is where we want to match the pitch with the different lengths of the sample. The most stretched sample should be the one playing the highest note, and the lowest note should be the shortest sample, and so on. Again, we're compensating for the fact that the sampler is shortening the tail at higher pitches. After that's done, and after dialing in the sample start in both the MIDI and in the sampler itself, we should end up with a result where the relative length of the different pitches are about the same. So at this point, it should be pretty comparable to the algorithmic pitching in terms of length. Great, so what is the point of all this? Like, why go through all the hassle of doing this for every pitch? Let me show you. The thing that's different between these two versions is how much we rely on the algorithm. With the algorithmic pitching, we're 100% relying on the algorithm doing a good job. And as we talked about, we can't expect all algorithms to be equally good. With the sampler method, algorithms are still involved, first in the time stretching of the tail and next in the pitching in the sampler. But for both, it's a much simpler algorithm. So universally, across DAWs, it should help create a result where more of the details are kept after pitching. So let's do a direct comparison of the two results. I think it becomes apparent, especially at the highest pitch, that there is a difference between these two approaches. At the highest pitch, the algorithmic method is struggling to reproduce the details in the tail. It becomes this digital blurry sounding crunch, whereas with the sampler method, the crunch is much more sharp and defined. And the difference here is mostly apparent in the high end, but even though we can't hear it as clearly, we have to imagine that the low end is equally affected by this. And so the low end should equally come out more pure and clean with the sampler method. The question is it worth it to use the sampler method over the traditional algorithmic method? The upside of using the traditional method is that it's super fast to set up and that it's 100% time coherent, right? If you've designed the crunch in the tail to come in at a specific time, the timing will remain 100% the same at all the different pitches when using algorithmic pitching. That's honestly huge. That's actually the biggest advantage of sticking with algorithmic pitching. Now, for pitching in the sampler, there is no denying that objectively speaking, it's producing a higher quality outcome. And that obviously is the biggest selling point, but it also takes more time to set up, and you can never fully hit a timing that's 100% uniform across all pitches. So there will be some variance between the pitches, which isn't optimal. The conclusion that I've come to is that neither of them is necessarily better, because I'll usually try both in all of my projects, and often one of them just fits better for whatever reason. And it's never always the same method, it's about 50-50. So the way I see it is that this is a second and very viable method of pitching that I use to see if I can squeeze out those last few percentages. Let's do a comparison one last time. Guys, I'm genuinely curious, what is the method you use to pitch your kicks? Let me know in the comments below. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.